I just had 2 bags from Temu. Very exciting. So my only early memories of England, well, I don't have any memories, obviously, because I was below 2, so you don't have any memories. What I've been told is that I had Diddy Men wallpaper, and I was dressed as an angel as we crossed the equator, and cried myself silly because I wasn't very happy about it being dressed up as an angel. That's about it. Anyway, and then we arrived in Cape Town, and then we went by train from Cape Town to Johannesburg, across the Karoo Desert. And my dad was looking for a job as a, what would you call it? I don't know, something to do with engineering. And my mum, in the end, ended up working as a kindergarten teacher. Bit of an upgrade, I'd suppose, because she was before that would just. I mean, she left school at 15, for Christ's sake, and then I don't know. Anyway, seemed to enjoy. I mean, my mum, basically, these day and age, she would have easily got a degree and all sorts of qualifications. But in those days, she was the oldest of 4, and she was expected to go and work when she was 15, and she had to gain her money and hand it over to her mum and support the other 3 children in the house. And they had a bit of a crazy, their father was a nut job. He was an alcoholic, miner type. I don't know how much I should go into that, but anyway, he was a bit of a bad one. And then my great grandmother, also her original husband. So she had 4 daughters. So one was my grandmother, and another 3. One was my great aunt, the one who moved to South Africa. One stayed here. Where have I got 4 from? Maybe there was only 3 of them. I've forgotten one. Oh dear, I am in trouble. And yeah, so basically that's my grandmother was quite a character. She was well known for being a character. She would do stupid stuff like she'd get all our shopping in Burnley, and the bus is 9 miles from Burnley to here to Tomilin, and basically push the supermarket trolley full of shopping onto the bus and stuff like that. Just nutty stuff. And then there was 2. She had 2 boys and 2 girls. So my uncles and aunts. Yes, that's right. And none of them got an O level. Not a single one. They never even came close. And they all left school at 15 and got jobs. So my uncle James was a hog carrier. My uncle John was kind of a labourer. And now he works for, I don't know, some kind of warehouse doing things like Amazon or something. And then my grandmother died very young, sadly, early 50s. Probably more from smoking than anything else, I'd say. And same with my mum. But anyway, that's probably later down the line. And so basically, previous to that, so my family on my father's side goes back to the 15th century. They're registered in Heptonstall, which is like a little village above Hebden Bridge, where they have parish records which still exist or something. And anyway, we're our names are there for some reason. Not our names, obviously, the people before us. And they, but anyway, the Gills, they're all labourers anyway. I don't get too excited. But Heptonstall is a beautiful place, and it's where Sylvia Plath is buried, and all that sort of thing, and also where Ted Hughes did a lot of his, poeming and whatever, and it's absolutely amazing place to visit, and highly recommend it. But I wouldn't want to live there, to be frank. It's quite isolated. I mean, you're on the top of the hills here. So I'm currently in Todmorden, which is a town in three valleys. It's kind of the meeting of three valleys. And so there's Rochdale one direction, Burnley one direction, Halifax the other direction. So I'm sort of in the middle. And Todmorden is like smack bang in the middle of all those three. And then we're about 20 odd minutes on the train from Manchester. If you get the train, 25 minutes. I know it's not very long anyway. You're there very quickly. And but it's very rural, saying that, but it's kind of semi-rural, however you want to describe it. I mean, it's like 25 square kilometers big and has a population of about 15,000, so there's a lot of room. And but it's mostly hills and forests and lakes and or whatever stuff. Britain's highest beach and things like that. Used to be a kind of tribal place, I think, and then the Romans appeared at some point. I always like to joke to my Chinese visitors that they built all the viaducts everywhere. Like, fascinated by. It was actually the Irish who built them, but yeah, we had a lot of Irish here, and there's some fascinating, like if you're into all that walking and whatever, there's forest, or going through all that sort of amazing forests and old stuff and all that kind of thing. There's more than enough. There's deer and wildlife of all sorts. Well, for England anyway. Nothing dangerous. There's nothing. I can't even think of the biggest injury you get off any English wildlife. A badger, maybe, if it bit you. But you'd have to annoy it to get it to bite you. So you'd be more worried about the humans than anything else. I think that's definitely the case. Anyway, so I just thought I'd start this off. This is the first, for the first 3 years of my life, really, not a lot to say, really. I mean, all I know is I kind of went to Africa, born in Burnley. Don't really know a lot about what happened. Oh yeah, two of my great-grandfathers were war heroes, Second World War. One was in Germany, and not Germany, he was in France, sorry. And the Germans invaded, and he was in the RAF or something. Anyway, he was a bus conductor back here. So anyway, he ended up driving a truck full of Jewish people who'd somehow escaped from wherever they were being held and drove them to South France or somewhere, and he was wearing a German helmet. They somehow escaped, and he got some kind of medal. He got a medal for that, and it was a really nice man actually, and Grandad Sharp, and he was known as the Birdman of Todmorden because he could do all the like bird whistles and so, talk to the robins and the different kind of birds and stuff. He would chit chat with them. It's quite amusing. And buses in those days was a different thing. I mean, I remember talking to him a fair bit about like the 30s and stuff. Yeah, it doesn't sound like it was very easy. Other granddad, unfortunately, I never met. Great granddad, which was the real mother of, like, real father. So, God, this is complicated. So, my great grandmother, who's the mother of my grandmother and blah, 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 all those people, She her first husband was killed in the war. The second one she married was the dude who rescued the Jewish people and does bird singing. But the first one she married, he died on the Prince of Wales battleship off Singapore. He was killed when he was in the engine room, so he didn't have much chance, I think. And what annoys me is that China's dredging that steel up from the ocean bed because it's pre-atomic or something. Anyway, I find that kind of annoying and disrespectful. But anyway, saying that. But anyway, he had a huge effect. That him dying had a massive effect, obviously, on my my grandmother, her two sisters, right? Their dad died, killed by Japanese. They had no clue what was going on, and it totally sent them, doolally. And even now, the surviving lady is still not. She won't buy a Japanese thing if you're free. Anyway, but that's just the way it was, And okay, so I'll have to just leave it there. I think that's like the first 1 to 3. Can I think of anything else? Because I don't know anything else about it. You see, because I was, I was, a kid. I didn't know anything. I don't remember anything. And it's only what other people have told me. I don't think I did anything very adventurous in between the ages of 1 and 3. It was painting perfectly. It was doing great artwork. It was like we called him Rembrandt. He was 3 years old Rembrandt. That one. Yes. No, unfortunately not. No, I was just a normal child as far as I know, and probably a bit of an annoying one as well. But they took me all the way across the world, to the other side of the world, without asking me, emigrated me to South Africa. They didn't give me just like, you're off, and like, my mum and dad at that time were both like 20, 21, something like that. Like, it's like, God, that's like the age you go to, you're going to university or something. But I mean, what a huge thing to do, to emigrate, My mum at 15, she'd never had a qualification in her life. And just went, right, tally-ho, and off they went. They emigrated to South Africa. The £50 poms or whatever they called them. And there they went. And yes, and so okay, so the second part I'll start. So I start having memories when I was in South Africa. So I will do the second part. Okay, this will be the first part. So I'll call this part 1, and then I'll do part 2, and then part 1 million, or whatever. But anyway, it's part 1.